I'm on day 31 of making this cartoon and there is no end in sight. So how did I get here? Well, this is my YouTube channel where cartoons go to die. And over the past 3 years, I've sacrificed blood, sweat, and my posture to make internet cartoons that nobody sees, all to achieve one thing: success. And after studying my favorite YouTube animators, I've discovered their secret for making viral cartoons. Take something popular and make it twisted. And lucky for me, the wildly popular
Fantastic Four
just dropped in theaters and is a perfect opportunity for me to try this myself. So I'm taking you on an animation ride-along from day 1 to 57 in my quest to make a viral cartoon. Because I don't know how much longer I can keep making cartoons that only my mom watches. And by the end, your mind is gonna be blown when you see the results. Holy shit. Goal 1, write a viral script. Writing is always the first step in any creative pursuit, and it's no different when trying to make a viral cartoon. And cool visuals can never save a bad story. Basically, this script has to kick ass. This may be the dumbest thing that I've ever written. We have a problem. But to understand the problem, you first need to understand what I'm making. Mr. Fantastic's superpower is that he's incredibly stretchy. So the idea was to test if a specific part of him could really stretch to any size, if you know what I mean. But this script needs to accomplish 2 things. Number 1, be outrageous enough to go viral. And number 2, not get me fired from my day job. And let's just say, it was definitely outrageous. Reads retracts like a tape measure. Luther's eyes widen as Mr. Fantastic's unravels around him. Because I like my day job, I decided to go back to the drawing board. Not just 1, but 2 more times, baby. And after many sleepless nights, I ultimately decided to cut Mr. Fantastic's genetically modified out of the script and got to a version I could show my grandpa.
This was great.
And was it perfect? Nope. I was actually pretty scared that this version wasn't funny enough to go viral. But it was already day 12, and Fantastic Four was becoming more irrelevant with every day that passed. So if I was even gonna give this thing a chance to go viral, I had to shift into high gear. And this next step could make or break the entire cartoon. Goal number 2, build the animatic. Let me explain. The animatic is the blueprint for our cartoon. We use it to make sure our story works with stick figures before spending ungodly amounts of time making it look pretty. And to make an animatic, I need 3 key pieces. Character design. These designs need to stop a professional doom scroller dead in their tracks. Storyboards. This is basically where I create a comic book version of the film, using the 2 greatest tools known to man, Sharpies and sticky notes. But anything I draw during this step will eventually have to be animated by Future Ryan later on, so no pressure.
I literally hate this.
Go away, Future Ryan, we're not ready for you yet. And last but not least, well, before we get to literally the most fun part of this whole process, let me quickly pitch you the cartoon we're making. To put it simply, there's an alien named Galactus who wants Mr. Fantastic's child. Instead of giving Galactus his child, Mr. Fantastic blows him up using a random woman's fat baby that he strapped a bomb to that weirdly looks a lot like a baby version of me. That doesn't matter. And yes, I went to 4 years of film school to be able to make things like this, so please don't judge me. As I was quickly coming up on day 19 of this project, I could barely contain my excitement for what was coming next. Schmeagol and Spillful. Hot dog, nothing can stop me now. Why am I in my wife's closet right now? Because voice acting! In animation, the voices come first so you can base the character's performance off the actor's performance. And for this cartoon, we needed 3 voices, and the first 2 were a piece of cake. Hey, Kim. I am Galactus. I will tear your planet. Hey there. I don't even know what you... Where's my baby? So bad. So bad, in fact, that I had an epiphany. I have an idea of a voice I might replace it with by the end. And if you guys stick around, I have someone I'm thinking of that I think would be perfect for this voice, and I hope it's gonna work out. But there was one more bonus voice I had to do. Don't post that. Do not post. Oh, and one more. I promise it's the last one. Okay, I'm done. So I slapped those vocals together with the visuals and bam! I started really thinking this thing might actually turn out decent. But I'm not gonna lie. It had been 21 days since I first started this project and it was beginning to take a toll on me. I was going to bed at the time I should have already been deep in my REM.
It's almost 2 a.m.
My hands started twitching like this, probably from too much drawing. And perhaps the greatest loss of all, I skipped out on a hip-hop class with my wife and some of our friends. And I'm just telling you, I would have killed it. Yeah. See what I mean? But as I finished up the animatic, I realized this was not the time to slow down. Fantastic Four was becoming more irrelevant by the day, and so were my chances of making a viral hit. So I ignored all the signals I should just chill out and trudged onwards towards
3.5 hours in, and I've created a background that I hate.
Oh, right. Before we get to that, I have what I like to call the trifecta of shit. Background design,
The bane of my existence.
animation prep, making file structures, creating shot list, all while trying not to drive my head through a wall, rigging, retracing all the character designs in separate layers so I can animate without having to redraw every frame, allowing me to do things like this. I just finished rigging all of the characters, and now we get to finally move on to no, not yet. Animation. Goal number 3. Finish the animation in the next 3 days. Because in exactly 3 days, I'm flying to Colorado for my cousin Peter's bachelor party. And by the time I come back, Fantastic Four will be irrelevant, meaning no views, no motivation, and no will to live. Okay, that last part was dramatic. But that means animating 4 to 5 shots or 15 seconds per day. And let me just show you what that means. This shot took 1.5 hours to animate. I realize that you have to be clinically insane to be an animator, as I am. So, my plan is to eliminate all distraction, put my head down, and disappear off the face of the planet until I leave for the trip. It was a foolproof plan. I was trying to say it was a foolproof plan. There we go. Except there was one more thing I had to do before I started animating. Okay, we are ready. Okay. And action. This is Makiko. She's one of my mom's childhood best friends visiting from Japan and was perfect to voice the mom character. Straight up, just listen to this performance.
誠くん連れてきたらうちのおデブちゃんにも会えるわよ。うちの子がいない。キャー
That was awesome, thank you. And with that voice finally secured, I put my head down and got back to work. No distractions, except for one other thing. I went to Disneyland on day 2 instead. Okay, but then for real, I packed for my trip and went to Costco on day 3. Okay, but then I really... Colorado. I just got back from my cousin's bachelor party in Colorado. I feel like I've lost all motivation. And I just really don't want to finish this cartoon. I couldn't even look at Galactus's face anymore, so I immediately closed out of that Adobe Animate file and did much more meaningful things with my time. On day 41, I got this blood blister from absolutely tearing up the hoops. On day 42, I watched these ants crawl out of the hole in our apartment, kind of like me trying to crawl out of the hole I put myself in. On day 45, I trapped this bug under this glass. And finally, on day 46, I sat down, opened my animation software, and then said nope and shot hoops instead. But on day 48, I sat there thinking of how much work I'd already poured into this thing, and after becoming the literal poster boy of the sunk cost fallacy, I cracked. It's been about a month and a half since I started this thing, but the fact it's gone on this long, now when I think about finishing it, I'm just like, oh, I don't know how many views this animated cartoon is gonna get at this point. Right now, my main concern is getting it done. I have about 3 hours right now. I think that should be enough time for me just to rip into this thing and just put in my rear view mirror. And in my rear view mirror, it was put. And I definitely finished all the animation in the next 3 hours and not the next 5 days, for sure. That'd be crazy. But regardless, finishing the animation led to one of the most satisfying things in the whole process. Right here in animation status, I get to mark off the final red square. And I rode that high all the way through the final step in the process, compositing or making it look pretty. 57 days later, with the finish line on the horizon, I could see the light. I'm done. I'm done. I am done. Guys, I finished the cartoon. I feel like I just took a giant dump. And it was finally time, after 57 long-ass days, to invite you to the world premiere of my Fantastic Four cartoon. And we still had to do the most important thing afterwards. But for now, enjoy.
I am Galactus, and I'm hungry.
そう、誠くん連れてきてよ。うちのおデブちゃんにも会えるわよ。
I will consume your planet unless you give me your child.
Take him. You know you want to.
Okay, thanks. You know, this doesn't look like your child. I will tear your planet piece by piece. I will eat Manhattan first, and then I will eat Manhattan.
うちの子がいない。キャー
And just like that, there was only one thing left to do.
All right, here we go.
And nothing could prepare me for what happened next.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Bro, that is by far the most amount of views I've ever gotten on something that I've made.
To put this in perspective, if I combine the views of every cartoon I'd ever posted, this cartoon's view count alone would easily double that amount. And yeah, the YouTube views were another story. But I can't lie, this felt good. But even in this viral bliss, as I reminisced on all the time and energy it took to make this stupid cartoon, a single question kept banging around inside my head.
Was this worth all the pain it took to make?
I literally hate this.
It's almost 2 a.m.
Where's my baby?
This one hurts my throat.
It's hot as balls in here. I spent 2 hours on that. Was this worth all the pain it took to make?